Welcome to part one of the Total Question Workout. I'm Dr. Bennett McClellan, and I will be facilitating your discussion today, or your journey today, in the workout. The workout comprises 4 parts. The first part is elaboration. In order to get going, we need some space. So what I suggest you do is push your chairs aside and get yourself some wall space. Wall space that I've designed here in my dining room is covered with white paper. And I'm going to be writing on the white paper. I'm going to be putting yellow stickies and colored stickies of other kinds. And all morning long, I'll be filling this up with part 1. Part 1 is about elaboration of your question, whatever your question might be. And that has 5 parts. The first part is simply to state your question, whatever your big question might be. The second part is to describe how big it is. How big do you feel it is? What's its actual size in your mind? The third is to describe the situation in as much detail as you possibly can, but within the time frame. So give yourself a half hour or an hour at the most. The third is to attribute the causes. What actually caused the situation you're in? What created it? What brought it about? And what keeps it there? And the last part of the first part of the workout is to make your own motivations explicit as to what you want to solve. What question do you really want to answer? And do you really want to answer the big question that you've presented? If you do, then you can use this to describe the situation, elaborate it, and then prepare yourself to go on. To help us illustrate how this works, I've asked a fictional character named Bobby, who's a recent medical school graduate, to be our participant. And so we're going to work through Bobby's big question, but think of this as your question, whatever it might be. The process is going to be the same. First question is, how do you know it's a big question? And you know it's a big question because it's pressing. It's personal, it's recurring, it's a thing that keeps you up at night. It's elusive in terms of you can't figure out exactly what it is you need to ask, what it is you need to solve, what answers you really need. It's significant in terms of the outcomes are going to be important to you, and it's symptomatic of something. Typically symptomatic of a bigger system at play. And we use the acronym of it's pressing. Bobby's big question, which she is facing, is going to be, how do I get out of debt? Now, Bobby's debt comes about because she's recently been to medical school. She's accumulated a lot of student loans. She's just graduated, but she doesn't have a job yet. So her question is, how do I get out of debt? This could match your question, or you could have a question that has to do with other parts of your life or your business. For example, business owners may have a question, should I expand? Should I contract? Should I sell my company? Should I buy another company? Do I go into another market? Or perhaps, should I get out of the business by retiring? Personal questions have to do with what should I do? What should I do in the future? What should I do about a relationship? Or how can I? How can I go to medical school? How can I get out of debt having gone to medical school? How can I run my life better? How can I gain more time in my life? Something to do with you personally. So those are the kind of questions people typically have, but it doesn't really matter what others have. The question is, what question do you have? And whatever your big question is that matches the pressing criterion, then that's your big question, and we'll go to work on that.